Yo's me, your boy, Shonen Boy here today. I'm here today to do a review of the latest chapter of One Piece, chapter 1057, and... Oda, why? Why? I'm not even going to read through the whole entire chapter because most of it is flashback and reminiscing about what happened in the in Wano and the arc we just finished. This is the last chapter of Wano. The curtain draws, and we are now sailing away from Wano, and we're done. And honestly, like, Oda, why? Why did you have to leave it like this? Why did you have to leave it like this? This is like, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. It leaves a bad taste in your mouth, and there's so many things that I just want to, go into and just talk to you guys about and get your opinions about, the latest chapter of One Piece and how you feel about Wano and a whole. So yeah. So if you like my content, like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get straight into this. So, let's start off with the big thing. Yamato is not joining the crew. Like, just plain and simple, Yamato is not joining the crew, and it is the dumbest thing. It is the dumbest thing, and I don't know, like, Oda, why? Why did you give a shit about this character? Why did you make us give a shit about this character and build her up and, give her a backstory, give her a character arc, give her, like, all these things, like, backstory, character arc, motivation, becoming Odin and everything like that, vibing with the crew, telling Luffy that I'm gonna join his crew and everything like that. Why? Why did you do that? Why did you string us along for, however long, when Yamato was when Yamato was introduced? Why did you string us along for Yamato to not join the crew? And for her to be like, nah, I'm not going to join the crew. I'm going to start off my life like Odin did, and I'm going to tour Wano. It's like, that's dumb. That is stupid. That is so dumb and stupid. And I'm like, why? Why did you string us along for that for so long? Why did you do that? Why? Like, that is so dumb. That is so dumb that you strung us along for, like, when Yamato was introduced until now, and you building her up and saying, oh yeah, she's gonna join the crew. She's gonna join the crew. Like, keep your eyes on Yamato. She's going to have a backstory, a character arc, motivation. She's going to tell Luffy that she's going to join the crew and everything like that. And then at the last minute, nah, I'm going to throw you a curveball and be like, nah, she's not going to join the crew anymore. Like, it's like, what? Like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Like, I literally made a video 10 days ago on my YouTube channel saying that fucking Yamato's gonna join the crew. And now I'm like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck, man? The hell, man? That is so stupid. Like, what the hell? Like, like what I said in that video. I have to bring it back. I'm bringing it back. Okay. Like I said in that video, I don't really care who joins the Straw Hat crew. I don't. Honestly, anybody can join the Straw Hat crew. I don't really care. But, like, it's annoying when Oda strings you along, for this character to join the Straw Hats, and he's like stringing you along, and he's building this character up. You really like this character, and he or she is vibing with the crew and everything like that. And at the last minute, Oda's just like, nah, she's not gonna join the crew, nah. And he's done that 3 times. He's done that 3 times with Carrot, Rebecca, and also Yamato. He's done it with 3 characters. And With Rebecca, I understand. I was like, okay. I never really thought Rebecca was going to join the Straw Hats or anything like that. Like, we already have a princess in the crew. It's Vivi. Like, she is part of the crew, okay? So, we've already got a princess, so we don't need another one. So, I was fine with Rebecca not joining the crew. I was like, whatever. But then, Carrot. Okay, fine. I don't really care about Carrot. She is going to be the ruler of Zou. Whatever. She's going to do something, and she's not going to join the Straw Hats. Okay, that's fine. But then Yamato, like, she's going to tour Wano and see all the sights of Wano because she's been locked up for so many years. That's boring. That's stupid. Why would... whatever. Okay. I refuse to believe that anyone is going to join the Straw Hats anymore. I refuse to believe it. I refuse to believe that anybody is going to join the Straw Hats anymore. Jinbe is the last member of the Straw Hats, and that's it. That's the Straw Hats. Like, he's the last member, and that's our crew. And no one else is going to join the crew anymore because I refuse to believe that someone else is going to come along and join the crew at the last minute in the last saga of One Piece. I just don't see it. I just don't see it anymore after this chapter with Yamato not joining the crew and Carrot not joining the crew. It's just set in stone now that no one else is going to join the crew, and anybody who starts vibing with the crew and Oda builds this character up, I will no longer say those people for Straw Hat, that person for Straw Hat, because I know for a fact now that Oda might throw us a curveball like he did in this chapter and say, nah, that person's not going to join the Straw Hats, and I'm just like, you wasted our time. You wasted our time with Yamato. You built her up as a, decent character. I still love Yamato. I still think that she's a great character. But at the same time, why waste our time with the whole, stringing us along, building her up, giving her backstories, giving her motivations, vibing with the crew, fighting Kaido, being with Luffy, doing all that sort of stuff, and be like, no, she's not going to join the crew. This is Oda's story. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. But at the same time, there's been so many people on Twitter and also Reddit or Facebook or wherever you go, that saying, Yamato's going to join the crew. And then there's been, people, who have been, against that. They go, oh no, Yamato's not going to join the crew. She's she's way too new. And so many people have been going, have been against Yamato joining the crew, and have been bashing Yamato as well. And a lot of people have been for Yamato to join the crew, wanting her to join the crew and loving Yamato like me. And now, no one wins. No one wins, and we're just gonna sail away, and we're never gonna see Yamato again. We probably will see Yamato at some point during the story, but she's not gonna join the crew. Which, okay, whatever. It's okay, whatever. Fine. Okay, fine. Yamato's not gonna join the crew. Okay, whatever. It's fine. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But I am mad. I am mad that that Oda drew us along for this long, and gave us all this shit about Yamato, and it's just nah, she's not going to join the crew. It's just then what was the point? What was the point of Yamato? I generally want to know, what was the point? What was the damn point about Yamato? Because it's just... It makes me mad. It makes me mad that Yamato's not joining the crew. But but at the end of the day, okay, fine. I'm not gonna be too. I'm gonna move on from this. We're all gonna move on from this, and we're all gonna forget about Yamato, and we're all gonna move on to a higher, brighter thing. So we're gonna move on to Elbath. Let's look forward to Elbath, and let's move on from Wano, because Wano is done. We're finished with Wano, and I am honestly glad that we're done with Wano. I'm honestly glad that we're done with Wano because Wano has been going on for way too long. I made a video on my channel about, Wano being way too long, and, and I still stand by those things. Wano went for way too long, and there was way too many, things that were going on in Wano. And I'm glad that we're moving away from Wano and everything like that. I still love Wano. I still think that Wano is a great arc. But I'm probably gonna have to dock a few points from Wano now, because of this chapter. I'm gonna dock it to an 8 out of 10, because. Originally, before this chapter, the Wano arc was like a 10 out of 10. I loved it. I thought it was S tier arc. But now, after this chapter, after Yamato has not joined the crew, and I'll get into the Hiyori stuff very soon, but, I may have to dock, 2 points from, Wano and give it an 8, 8 out of 10, and now it's an A arc. It's an A arc. I wouldn't say it's S tier anymore. I would say it's an A arc, because this chapter leaves a bad taste in your mouth, and most of it is just flashback and, reminiscing about what happened in Wano and the arc we just read. Like, we could have just, moved on, said goodbye to Momonosuke and the Red Scabbards and everything like that, and they could have told, the people of Wano what happened and everything like that, what happened to Orochi and what happened to Kaido and everything like that, and how they were saved by the Red Scabbards and everything like that, which is fine. I don't mind that. But, I just, the whole thing with Yamato and Hiyori, let's get into the Hiyori stuff. Hiyori, I don't like the message. Honestly, I don't like the message that's been saying here at the end of the chapter, where the Kurumazumi clan, or whatever the fuck Orochi's clan is. I don't really care what clan Orochi comes from, honestly. But they don't break the cycle of hatred and revenge. They just say, oh, the Kurumazumi clan was always born to burn. Fuck those guys. And honestly, I kind of have to, agree with Hiyori. Fuck Orochi and fuck his clan. Honestly, who cares? It does, but at the same time, on the other hand, I can kind of see where people are coming from with saying, this doesn't break the cycle. You're not breaking the cycle of revenge and hatred for that clan. That is the whole reason why Orochi, got corrupted and everything like that, and why he turned out the way he was, because all the clans of Wano, hated the Kurumazumi clan and burned them and killed anybody who was part of that clan. So it's not really breaking the cycle, but at the same time, I honestly don't feel for Orochi, because he's a fucking piece of shit. I don't feel for his clan or Orochi, because Oda, depict them as pieces of shit. He built Orochi up as this piece of shit person that you're not supposed to feel for, and he's a piece of shit. And now you're telling me, that they're gonna kill anybody that is part of his clan, and the whole clan was meant to burn and everything like that. That's not really breaking the cycle of revenge and hatred for that clan, So I don't know. I don't really like the message that Hiyori is kind of setting and everything like that. And it's just and I just let's move away from the things that I dislike about this chapter. Let's talk about a couple of things I do like about this chapter. I do like the ending part where we get to see that panel of the Red Scabbards and Momonosuke and everybody telling the story of what happened and how they defeated Orochi and Kaido and everything like that. And we get the nice panel of everyone sitting together and and then we sort of end out the chapter. I like that part. I like sort of the ending part of Wano, where, you know, we get to see all the red scabbards and everything like that, and Momonosuke, and we're sort of like reminiscing about, you know, how far we've come with those characters and everything like that, and, you know, flashing back to, you know, Momonosuke and also Luffy's, like, journey and everything like that, that they had together, and all that sort of stuff. I like that, but, like, but most of the characters in Wano, like, I don't hate the red scabbards like some people do. I don't hate them, okay? I don't hate the red scabbards like some people do. I just feel like the red scabbards are just like, okay, like, I like every single one of them except for maybe, Kinemon. Like, honestly, Kinemon should have died, and honestly, I don't really like Kinemon anymore. Like, after all the stuff that we had with Kinemon, I'm just like, nah, I don't really like Kinemon. I don't really like Kinemon. And, like, the other red scabbards, like, yeah, they're fine, they're cool, whatever, like, you know, it's like, like, you know, it's whatever, like, you know. Like, the red scabbards are fine in my fine in my opinion. They're okay. You know, they're all gonna stay in Wano and protect Momonosuke and protect Wano and everything like that. And okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, let's get into Momonosuke. So Momonosuke. Momonosuke is a great character. I still think he's a great character after this chapter of, you know, One Piece. I still love him. And I think he's a great character. I've loved his development, loved everything about him and everything like that. But, like, I don't know, like, I feel like, Momonosuke, there's something about that. There's something else that I wanted from Momonosuke. I just wanted a little. I guess I wanted a little bit more from Momonosuke. Just the tiniest little bit more of something. I don't know. I feel like Momonosuke is missing something, and I just feel like his character is just like he's had a lot of good moments to shine. Like, Momonosuke has had a lot of good moments to shine, and his character has developed so much, and he's become a true man and everything like that. And honestly, I want to know where he's gonna take Wano next. What is he gonna do? How is he gonna, you know, surpass Odin and everything like that? His father, and how is he gonna be the greatest shogun, like they say in the when he becomes shogun, Momonosuke becomes shogun. Pardon me. When Momonosuke becomes shogun, they say, like, oh, you know, Momonosuke was renowned all over the world as one of the best shoguns of Wano of all time. You know, like, they say that. And I honestly want to know, where is Momonosuke gonna, how is Momonosuke gonna do that? How is he gonna be renowned as one of the best shoguns of Wano of all time? So, yeah. So, Momonosuke is great. I like him. He's a good character. I really like him. And, but the other red scab, but the red scabbards, like, yeah, they're okay. They're all cool in my books. Like, okay, whatever. They're fine. I don't really like Kinemon because he should have died and everything like that. But, like, like, I don't really care that Kinemon's still alive, honestly. Like, it was, like, whatever. And I just don't like him, whatever. And the other red scabbards, like, okay, yeah, sure. I like, you know, Kawamatsu, and I like Denjiro, and you know, and Dogstorm and Cat Viper are pretty cool, and Kiku's alright, and Izo's dead now, and he was cool, but, like, okay, and Ashura Doji, he was cool. Like, he went out like a boss, and he saved everyone, and yeah, like, yeah, I think that was all the red scabbards. Yeah, I think that was all the red scabbards. If I got, oh yeah, and Kanjuro, fuck Kanjuro, fuck him, just fuck him. But yeah, but other than that, like, all the red scabbards are, like, okay in my opinion. Like, they're, like, all right, like, whatever, like, yeah, whatever. But, like, yeah, but honestly, the ending of Wano, like, it kind of leaves a bad taste in your mouth. It kind of leaves a bad taste in your mouth, and I'm a bit salty about the ending of Wano. Like, I feel like there was a lot of highs in Wano, but there was also a lot of bad things in Wano that, like, but I feel like the highs outweighed the bad. Like, I feel like the highs of Wano outweighed the bad, and I still think Wano is a great arc. Like, I mean, it's an 8 out of 10 arc, and I think it's an A tier arc. But, like, after this chapter, it's no longer a 10 out of 10. It's no longer a 10 out of 10 arc, and it's no longer S tier. I had to docket a few points for this chapter, and Oda, that's bad. Like, that's really bad, and that's kind of your fault. That's honestly kind of your fault for doing this and leaving everyone with a bad taste in their mouth, and Yamato not joining the crew and not breaking the cycle of revenge and hatred for the Kumazui clan, for Orochi's clan and everything like that, and the message that Hiyori is sending and everything like that. Like I don't know. This chapter is, I want to say a 3 out of 10, like a 3 or 4 out of 10, because, like, yeah, there's some good parts in the chapter, but most of it is flashback, and the whole thing about, Yamato not joining the crew, and the message that Hiyori is sending and everything like that, and just the bad taste it leaves in your mouth after reading, Wano and everything like that for 4 years, like, I don't know, like, it just feels, it feels annoying. It just feels annoying that Oda had to leave Wano like this, and, yeah. But anyways, but let's move on to, other things. Let's move on to, Elbath, and let's move on to other things that are gonna happen in One Piece and everything like that. Does this, like, hurt my One Piece experience, or am I gonna drop One Piece? No. Like this, yeah, sure. This chapter is, I don't like this chapter or anything like that, and it does leave a bad taste in your mouth, but I don't, like, hate One Piece now. I'm not gonna drop One Piece. Like, if you think that, like, honestly, like, did you really have a connection to One Piece? Like, if you're gonna drop One Piece because of this chapter, and because Yamato didn't join the crew, like, I like Yamato, don't get me wrong, and I think that she's a great character, and I still, like her, but at the same time, like, okay, sure, she's not gonna join the crew, like, okay, whatever. Like, let's move on. Let's move on to Elbath, and let's get out and let's see what's gonna happen in Elbath and everything like that. Let's get into the final saga of One Piece. Let's start, revealing all the secrets of the One Piece universe, and start, wrapping up the story and everything like that. Let's start getting into the final stages of One Piece. That's what I'm keen for. Getting into the final saga of One Piece, getting into what's going to happen next, Elbath, all the secrets of the One Piece world, the final war, and everything like that. That's what I'm excited for. I am so glad that we're moving away from Wano, and now we can get into the final saga of One Piece, and we can finally start, wrapping up this story, and we can finally start, moving on, and let's get into, like, better things and everything like that. And I hope Elbath is a good arc. And yeah, but I will no longer think that anybody is going to join the Straw Hats any longer. I will not think that any longer, because Jinbe is the last member, and yeah, and that's our crew. That is the Straw Hat crew. Jinbe is the last member, and I highly doubt anyone's going to join the crew at the last minute for the last saga of One Piece. I just don't see it after Yamato and Carrot didn't join the Straw Hat crew. I just don't see it anymore. So yeah. But anyways, this is your boy, Shonen Boy, signing out. Like and subscribe, comment down below. How do you feel about this chapter? How do you feel about Yamato not joining the crew? Do you think it was a waste of time for her character and everything like that, and, Oda stringing us along and everything like that? Or do you still really love Yamato and still really like the character and everything like that? And how do you feel about the ending of Wano? Do you think it's still a 10 out of 10 arc? Do you think it's still the best best arc in One Piece, or are you a little bit lukewarm on the arc and you don't really like it, or do you hate the arc and you think it's the worst arc in One Piece? How do you feel about Wano, and how do you think Oda sort of wrapped this up? Honestly, now after this chapter, I'm a little bit lukewarm on the series. I think it's an 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10, sort of like an arc, Wano is, and I think that it's just like, it's okay. It's an A tier arc, and it's an 8 out of 10, and I still like it, and there's still a lot of highs, but there also is still a lot of lows, and after this chapter, it sort of leaves a bad taste in your mouth, and I'm like, so yeah. But anyways, until next time, I'll talk to you guys later, and have an awesome day.